SLS GmbH is not a workshop. The work shown, which we carry out on our own vehicles, are merely experience reports and may contain errors. They are therefore not to be understood as professional instructions. Unfortunately, we cannot accept orders.
Hello, I'm Hanno from SLS. Here we have a 1999 SLK, model 170, with some of the trunk panels removed. This helps us today to document the convertible top function, especially from the trunk's perspective. Regarding the drive mechanism, the most important thing to note is that it is hydraulic. The drive requires central hydraulic oil, or in emergency situations, power steering or automatic transmission fluid meeting Dexron 2 specifications. Tip: use colorless oil brands due to the sensitive trim parts near the cylinders. On the right side we have the pump, and on the left and right sides of the trunk, we have cylinders that push up the rear deck lid. Under the parcel shelf are the main operating cylinders for the convertible top mechanism. And in the roof, which is not exposed today, there is a cross cylinder for the lock engagement at the front windshield frame. The key mechanical components are the rear deck lid suspension, with the crossbar and the parcel shelf, as well as a few end position switches, for example, on the locks. Here is the cable connection for the luggage compartment roller switch. I have bypassed it. I recommend this to anyone who takes the car in for maintenance. The control unit monitors, among other things, the luggage compartment roller, as well as the rear locks and the rear deck lid. I'm closing it now. It is always recommended to read such an operating manual. It explains everything, including why errors may occur. When the ignition is turned on, the car checks everything, including whether the convertible top can be operated. The convertible top switch lights up once and then goes out. If there is an error, you can recognize it by the blinking during the activation attempt. Errors can include the trunk not being closed, the luggage roller not being engaged, or another issue such as no pressure buildup. By double tapping, you can also operate the windows with the switch. With a 5mm hex key, which might be part of the onboard toolkit, you can see the emergency operation here, which also serves as an indicator for whether the convertible top functions correctly at the front during normal operation. I'll demonstrate how it should be. What we just saw was the lock release. This was made possible because the rear deck lid lock was activated by a cable, and the cable was released by the lower end of the rear deck lid cylinder. After the rear deck lid was fully opened, it was possible to move the convertible top. Here at the front, the pins and latches have been released and have moved out of the windshield frame. Meanwhile, the parcel shelf has also started moving. You can see a small cable guide here, which ensures that the side wing of the parcel shelf can lay flat later. Now we are a bit further along in the so-called maintenance position. The maintenance position allows you to fully clean the rear window and access the parcel shelf. The maintenance position is now held by the pump. If you need it for an extended period, you must secure it with a rope or a support tool. For maintenance work, you can now also turn off the ignition, which will release the pump pressure. This way, the cable tightens, but it is stable enough to access everything. From the main convertible top mechanism, perhaps also the C-pillar, the parcel shelf is forcibly guided by this small lever. The top is now moving into its final position in the trunk. It rests on the parcel shelf holder. The parcel shelf itself rests on the adjustment screw, and at the rear, the top rests on the rubber buffer. The opening process is complete when the switch stops glowing. There is an emergency operation for the roof, as stated in the user manual. The most important part of the emergency operation is this screw on the pump body. It is a valve screw that allows the hydraulic fluid to be manually pushed out of the cylinders. This screw must be turned out as far as possible. Then, behind the side panels of the trunk, there are these cables with which the lock can be operated and the trunk lid controlled. Up front in the headliner, earlier we saw the screw that allows the latches to be operated. That was a brief overview of how a convertible top works on the SLK. See you in the next video. Until then.